Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rogers Kakasungura YouTube channel. A big thank you to each and every one of you for your continued support. And may God bless you so much. If you're watching this video, take your 1 or 2 seconds. Click that subscribe button and remember to turn on your notification bell so that when I upload a video, you're able to be notified. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya, we are at a point that, as I always say, we must shift from politics and face the reality as it is. And Kaka, my work on this platform is to give you bitter injections, is to give you bitter pills. It is upon you to swallow or refuse. It's upon you to take the injections or refuse. You know, there's what we call politics when you are seeking a position in an elective office and working for reality or working on reality after you get elected. What do I mean? People thought that whatever they were speaking during the campaigns, all of it will be applicable in government. Surprisingly, they are getting the opposite. For example, you saw the Kenya Kwanza government was singing freedom is here. Freedom is coming tomorrow. That is the song people were singing on social media, in political gatherings. Intimidation is coming to an end. Freedom is coming. I don't know what. That was the song. Hatupangwingwi. Hatupangwingwi. Sisi ni watu tunajipanga. Hatupangwingwi. But you know, Kenya is a very interesting country. The Constitution of Kenya, the 2010 Constitution of Kenya, grants some independence in some institutions. For example, when the Kenya Kwanza government demanded they increase daily transactions from 1 million as stipulated by CBK to 10 million, you remember what the CBK governor said? Away from what you think, as a nation we cannot risk for people to benefit politically. So in this Kenya, there are things that the president cannot do because the work of the president is to please people politically so that he can be re-elected for another term. The truth as we stand, ladies and gentlemen, let not anyone give you hope on cheap life ahead. Let nobody lie to you of cheap unga ahead. Let nobody lie to you, ladies and gentlemen. The truth as we speak right now is, Kenya, we are at a critical time or at a critical season where we are about to be blacklisted from borrowing. We are at a time that if we are forced to borrow, we must borrow on high interests as high as above 20%. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are borrowing 100,000, you pay back an extra 20,000. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya is at a critical time when we need sober leaders who will move away from politics and face reality. That is when we can rescue this country. But the kind of trajectory I am seeing by politicians who have entrusted them with our Kenya is dangerous. They told us freedom is coming. Yes, Kaka personal also need that freedom. Freedom of criticizing the government freely, without intimidations. Freedom of speech. That is the kind of freedom I want. But again, as a parent, too much freedom to children destroys. Too much freedom to your girls destroys character. Too much freedom to your boys in the house destroys character. If we give freedom to other things, like now, freedom, you can transact whatever amount you want. Ladies and gentlemen, people will eat this country. This country will be stripped naked. The CBK governor said that I cannot shy off from telling Kenyans this. I know the president cannot say because he is interested to gain politically. The deputy president cannot because he's a person who is interested to gain politically. The CBK governor said, Kenya, we are at a critical time when if we have to borrow, we must borrow on high interest rates as high as above 20%. In fact, what I saw he quoted is above 22%. So that means if we are to borrow on top of the 10 trillion budget, 10 trillion debt we have, it means we strain more to clear the debt before we stabilize. Ladies and gentlemen, if someone is giving you hope that freedom in our economy is coming tomorrow, that person is lying to you. We must begin to tell each and every citizen the reality we are facing right now as a country. I know the government will lie to you because they want a second term. But what is the reality on the ground? The CBK governor is laying it bare as it is. He said the Kenyan shillings is depreciating. So what do we do? If we are to pay the debt, there's something I want Kenyans to understand. This is how it works. I want to bring you closer to what you can understand. You are a business lady or a businessman. You go to a chama, you borrow 10,000 shillings. Ufanye biashara. That business, you realize it's not bringing the profit you wanted so that you can pay an interest rate, let's say 10%. So if you borrow 10,000, interest at 10%, it means you will return 1,000 extra. So you will return 11,000, right? The business you have invested in is not giving you the 10,000 and the 1,000 on top so that you can pay and remain with something to eat. So it means out of the 10,000 you borrowed, you will return 11,000 and the business will require you to make an extra 5,000 so that it can be 15,000, so that when you return 11,000, you remain with 4,000 to buy unga back at home. Because if you return all the 11,000 without profit, it means you're going again to sleep hungry. Now, when the chama realizes that you are unable to pay the 10,000 loan because of failure to sustain the business, where do I feel that it's too complicated for you to understand? I wanted to give a simple explanation. I don't know how I will do it. Unafanya biashara ya mitumba. Umeenda chama kuborrow 10,000. Hiyo ni loan, hiyo sio pesa yako, you've borrowed. But in return inamaanisha utarudisha tuseme 10% profit. Hello? So meaning ukienda kurudisha 10,000, You add 1,000 to 10%, so you are supposed to return 11,000 whether you made profit or not, lakini 11,000 nayo ya chama lazima utalipa, hata kama biashara ilianguka, hata kama biashara ilikufa, hata kama biashara iliendelea, whatever the situation here, you have to accomplish by paying the loan. If you fail to pay the loan, the 11,000, it means where you borrowed the chama, you are not going again to borrow from them. Why? You are unable to pay the first loan. Now, this is it. If you are to pay the first loan of 11,000, it means in your business, you must make something like a total of 14,000, so that when you return the 11,000, you don't go home empty-handed. You remain with 4,000, ununulie watoto chakula na ulipe some small expenses. Right? But when it reaches a time that even making that 4,000 extra is an uphill task, it means you will still struggle more to find money from other sources so that you can service the loan. And remember, when you delay to pay, the interest increases. Now, this is what is happening to Kenya. Kenya, we borrowed a loan to do projects. One of the projects is the railways. Right? One of the projects from Naivasha to Nairobi and Nairobi to Naivasha has been abandoned. Meaning, the railway from Nairobi to Naivasha cannot bring profit to service the loan. What does it mean? For Kenya to pay, the money used to build the railway from Nairobi to Naivasha, it must go back to its citizens. It increases the tax so that they can service the project which is not bringing any returns. I don't know if you're getting this. Kenya right now, we are unable to finish our 10 trillion loan. Meaning, if we haven't paid the 10 trillion loan, the lenders who lended us cannot lend us another cash because we are unable to service this one. Or if they will be forced to give us, if they will be forced, then it means it's on special agreements, which includes what the governor CBK was saying. We must borrow at high interest rates. That is above 20%. Now, the money we are borrowing is an additional to the 10 trillion still we have, which we have failed to service. It means when debts increase, the government must sweat more to service the loan. What does that mean? For government to sweat, it means where it gets the cash from Kenyans. Kenyans also must sweat high for the government to get money to service the loan and have something remaining to run projects internally. I don't know if you got this. So if there's somebody who's telling you there's freedom ahead, that person is lying to your instincts. That person is being unfair to you. The reality, Kenyans, let's prepare to toil and work very, very hard to put food on the table. Minus that, then we should sell Kenya, kila mtu apewe pesa yake, tuende kuishi Uganda ama Tanzania. Tough times ahead. Ukirudisha loan ya 10,000 bila kutengeneza profit ya kwenda kununua chakula, it means you will still remain hungry. So Kenya will still remain hungry. Remaining hungry means what? Unga lazima ibaki juu, mafuta lazima ibaki juu, maisha lazima ibaki juu, because the high tax we pay must service the loan and have something left for the government of Kenya to run projects, to pay for UK trips, to pay for Kisumu trips, to pay for miwani ya Rigiji. Hello? If you cannot see beyond that, then you cease to be a Kenyan. If you cannot move away from Kenya, kwanza ni serikali yetu, and face the reality, you are a dying Kenyan. There are people who are in love with politicians to an extent they cannot see mistakes. Right? Kama ni mtu bado unaimba Sipangwinge up to now, see your life. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. May God bless you. Asanteni sana. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.